I'm Liz with D'Addario Strings, and I am here with Diana Ladio of the Moxie Strings. She is here to lead us through something today.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Today we're going to be showing you how to restring one of the higher orchestral strings, so violin or viola.
Okay, which one of those do we have?
We have a violin here.
Awesome.
Yep, and first step in the process is to make sure that we have all of our strings out and ready to go so that we don't have the tension off of the instrument for too long. So we have a set of Kaplan Vivos here, all ready to go, brand new set. We're going to start with the D string, and the instrument is really reliant on the tension on the strings, so we'll do one at a time. And the first step in the process would be to release this old string. So as soon as we release the peg here, it will have a tendency to come unraveled, but we'll take it the rest of the way. And it should usually slide right out of the tailpiece as well. Now that the string is off of the instrument, it's a good idea to add a little bit of graphite to the two contact points, which would be the bridge and the nut.
Why do we do that?
Well, the graphite, and that really just comes in the form of a standard pencil. It basically acts as a lubricant. It makes sure that the string doesn't get stuck in either place. And especially on the bridge, if the string sticks to the bridge, it could pull it in either direction and give the bridge a tendency to lean. Not good.
Okay.
Yeah, we want it to be as upright as possible. So we just add a little bit of graphite, both at the bridge and at the nut. And the next step in the process is to add the new string.
Cool.
So D string today, D'Addario has a really great system here where all of them are color coded. So we just took a yellow string off of the instrument and we're going to put a yellow one back on.
Awesome.
We will start by putting the ball end here into the tailpiece, and there are no fine tuners on this instrument, so we slide it right in, make sure it's nice and secure. And then the top of the string here goes through the tiny little hole in the peg, and the peg is nice and loose. And it goes through, you thread it through, make sure there's not too much on the other side, and carefully wind so that the coil goes towards the edge of the peg box and it kind of nicely lines up right in a row there. Once you get it pretty taut, make sure that you're still nice and secure down here. It's lined up in the D slot on the bridge, the second one in, because this is a violin. And we will tighten it the rest of the way up.
So I noticed that when you take your hand away, the peg doesn't come unwound. Why is that?
That's true. So the peg is kind of the shape of a wedge. It's thinner on the inside here than it is on the outside. So as you're winding the string, if you're pushing in ever so slightly, the friction of the peg against the peg box will actually hold it in place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
After I've been playing on these strings for a little while, how do I know when it's time to change them again?
That's a really great question. There are some telltale signs that it's time to change your strings. First of which is you'll actually see a physical difference. They'll become a little bit more discolored, they'll look a little dirty, and also you may find that they feel different under your fingertips. They have a tendency to unravel if they've been on your instrument too long. That starts as just feeling a little bit rough, but you also might see them start to unravel, especially at the two contact points. And I mean, the most noticeable is that they're going to start to sound different. They're not going to respond to your bow quite like they did when they were new. They'll start to sound a little more muffled versus nice and bright and clear like new strings will.
Okay, and as I'm playing, do you have any recommendations for how to keep them sounding nice as long as possible?
Oh yes, absolutely. So you're going to play probably with quite a bit of rosin, and making sure that that rosin is off of your instrument almost every time you play it with a nice clean cloth. Wipe it down. That'll make sure that your strings stay nice and clear a little bit longer.
Awesome. I've noticed that some strings come in different sizes as well. So
Yes.
for instance, if I have like a full-size violin set and I wanted to put that on a half-size violin, is that possible?
We really discourage that. It really needs to be the right size for the instrument. So a full-size instrument needs to be a full-size set of strings. If the strings are too long, they'll have a tendency to be loose and feel very strange, and they probably won't stay in tune very well, and too short might not even stay on the instrument. So it really needs to be the right size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we didn't get too far into how to actually tune up your instrument. We have another video for that, which you guys should check out. But thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for
Alrighty.
having me.